turnovers under pressure.
McDonald tries to spin through Birchall. Unsuccessful. No free. Ladson loops it to Bateman.
And Dixon's free if he gets the ball on quickly.
He does. And Ben Dixon's got it. 50 from goal. Looks up. Rough head. Pocket. Good hands. Beats Rowe. Tucked into the boundary line. But an important kick this, because it could give the Hawks the lead in the opening minute of this third term.
It was a really good kick by Dixon, but he played on. That was the smart thing he did, which allowed Roughead to start his lead, and he was just too big for Rowe in that situation. Pretty hard to get a fist in there.
Tough kick. Starts at left. Nice off the boot. Hawks in front. 2004 has picked 2 behind Brett Delidio and 1 pick ahead of Ryan Griffin, of course. Hodge from the middle. Sends it long. Roughead on cue.
Oh, that's a fantastic grab. We talk about...
Ball to the wing. Campbell. Young. Corralled. Not allowed to play on inside 50 quickly. Forced to go back to Gillam. Lewis. Scott Guerra.
Spreading well, the Hawks.
And Guerra plays on. Central. Dixon.
Oh, terrific mark.
That was a graceful pluck from a ball that was, for all money, going over his head.
Well, we talk about these games where it's a bit of a tricky breeze, and we expect the midfield. The midfields have both been terrific, but all the goals have basically been kicked by marking forwards today. The whole second quarter was Franklin and Brown. Roughead started this quarter off, and you would say that Dixon is a marking forward as well, even though he's not a tall forward. And in the first quarter, Boyle has also got involved as well. So the taller players having an influence here in this match.
He's got 1 for his afternoon so far, Ben Dixon. He's kicked a ton of these over the years. He's now got 2, and the Hawks have got a big sniff at victory.
At this very early stage of the third quarter, after the Hawks finish to the second, they are up and running, and the Brisbane Lions are struggling to get their hand on the ball. They've just been opened up off half-back for the Hawthorn, who've run and spread so well. The likes of Young and Guerra. Mitchell still working very hard, and 1 on 2.
And Mills is the one. Flyers can't mark. It's a 1 on 3 now. Guerra. Crawford. They can reload from defence. Birchall. Looking solid, the Hawks. Sewell. Mitchell. Back into trouble. Crow. Dumped. Got the free, but it's Graham advantage. Well, to Birchall. He can go all the way from 50. Drop punt. Pretty good off the boot. Franklin on the line. Did he give a nudge? It's there. Franklin's got 4.
What you've got to love if you're a Hawthorn supporter at the moment is that the way their attack and run from defence. When it went in there, Jonathan Brown got it inside 50, and they outnumbered them 3-1, and then got it back into the corridor. Chance Bateman's been really important, and that's a good releasing handball to a player who can run and use it well. And Franklin, well, he's shaping as a real worry now for Brisbane. That's his 4th, all within about the last 30 minutes.
Do that. He's now leading in the race for it. Jonathan Brown and could well win his first Brisbane Lions best and fairest. Is having an outstanding year. Begley beaten for it by Hodge. Bumped him off it. Slips it to Dixon. And that might be 50. He's played for it and got it.
Yep. And a few suggestions to Joel McDonald that he's made a mistake there. But that is the rule, that you cannot come into the contest if you weren't in the marking contest. And Ben Dixon got a little touch.
What about the effort of Luke Hodge?
Little tap in for Ben Dixon, was never going to miss from there. He's got 3.
Talk about a big body. Luke Hodge just wanted that ball. Another good clearance. A good tap by Leuenberger, but look where they were forced. They forced the ball out to the wing, and Begley there just out-bodied by Luke Hodge. And that was the first bit of good play. That's as soft as butter.
It is soft.
But it was the first bit of good play was Hodge, but then the kick was fantastic. And well, that's experience.
It is soft, but look, Joel McDonald knows, just leave them alone, because if you touch them, they're likely to pay a free kick.
3 goals straight for Ben Dixon. John McDonald a little unlucky. Both players appeared to instigate the contact. Bounce to restart it. 72 plays, 57. Lions in trouble. Leuenberger slips a handball out. Lewis, Smith. From half-back, they reload. Wobbly kick, and that's a very good mark from McGlynn.
It's such an important mark because Hawthorn were outnumbered 2-1 there, and a turnover would have opened up their defence and possibly a goal. This is where Hawthorn have really lifted. Through the midfield and across half-back, how they've run it out.
To Crawford, Smith, now Mitchell.
There they go again.
Worked it through the midfield nicely, although handball made it tough for Birchall. Caught, good tackle, Hooper. Dispossessed on the rebound, Brennan to Brown to Brennan. Caught, brought down by Mitchell, rewarded.
And that every time the Brisbane Lions have the ball through the corridor, they're pressured.
Chance Bateman. He's got Boyle on the move. It's in front of Roughhead. Roughhead leaves it. And the mark to McGlynn. We saw him with it about 20 seconds ago. His work rate, amazing. And he's now lining up from inside 50. Started on the bench, Ben McGlynn.
Talk about work rate. And this man has had 22 possessions, and it's those things that makes him a very good leader at this football club.
Well, for most of this season, he's been the Hawthorn #1 for score assists. Ben McGlynn. Chance to score one to his own name, and he slides it home.
He hasn't had a big afternoon, Ben McGlynn, just 5 possessions. But you're right, Dwayne, his work rate from half-back there, he was involved in at the start of the chain and then pushed forward. And a worried-looking Lee Matthews, because that tackle of Mitchell's is fantastic. They're happy to go into the corridor, even though all the numbers are there. You can see they're just half daring Brisbane to come at them. They'll take him on with a handball and a bit of run and carry. It's a good kick by Bateman. And a terrific play by little McGlynn.
And he heads long towards Charman. Can't mark Crode. Strong hands.
Well done, Crode. He's had a tough afternoon, but he had to mark that ball for Hawthorn.
Lewis to Sewell. He's held up and they can take a breath. 78 plays 57.
It was good work. This is about the first time Hawthorn actually have taken a breath. They've played on every chance they've got, and they probably just want to consolidate things just at the moment. Can't see them doing this for too long, as it's worked so well just to run and play on.
McGlynn finds Young.
Yeah,
he's been important. Clinton Young, he's taken it inside 50. This will be his 7th time. 11 handball receives, and with a player that can use the footy as well as him.
Goes for the chaos ball to the top of the square again. It's a wobbler. Side of the boot. Hodge met by Chris Johnson, who's just a little rusty. Chris Johnson, he's back into the team this afternoon, just his 9th game of the year. The Luke Hodge goal set up by Trent Crode. It's gorilla on gorilla, in the words of Alistair Clarkson. Crode on Jonathan Brown. Brown has 5 goals, but Crode almost started to win that battle.
Hodge is starting to become very important too.
Young, Guerra, and now Franklin. Oh, with ease.
With ease.
Spill, casual.
He got so much pace, that's the problem.
That was why it was with ease, because his acceleration off the mark, when Daniel Merritt is the quickest over 20 metres at the Brisbane Lions, Franklin's ability to put space between him and his opponent gave him the chance to have a bit of a juggle and fumble the ball, and he's becoming a massive factor. Have a look at the marks inside 50, well in favour of the Hawthorn Football Club. 9 to the Brisbane Lions 1.
Big kick this. He's got 4. This is for number 5. Like a sweet kiss. Straight through the middle. Straight through the middle. The Hawks on a roll.